Guys, what's up? Alex here. Today we are here to talk about the Chinese Grand Prix, which happened today, 7 AM in the morning. It was worth getting up for though, because it was absolutely awesome race in my opinion. Well, one of the best I can remember in recent years. Lots of overtakes. I suppose it was all really down to the first couple of corners and what happened there. Really, what defined the race, because Daniel Ricciardo had a great start. He got from second place up to first place through the first corner, and he was building a lead at the start of the race, not gonna lie. He had a really good start, he had good pace, but what happened at turn one was that the Ferraris going side by side, and Daniel Kvyat saw the space and he went for it, and he gained that position. He went up to, what was it was in third place at the time, and throughout the race Sebastian Vettel was complaining about that incident over and over again, and I'm thinking, I've watched that a few times now, I'm like, Daniel Kvyat went for a gap. It wasn't an aggressive move. He didn't crash into Sebastian Vettel. He left space. There was a metre or so to the right hand side of Vettel's car where he could have placed his car a bit better in my opinion. So I actually think Daniel Kvyat was completely in the right here, and Sebastian Vettel blaming Kvyat for this incident. Well, you've got to go for the overtakes. What sort of lesson is it to the younger generation that you shouldn't go for overtakes? I mean, that was a clear-cut opportunity there for Kvyat to go for an overtake. He did. He went through cleanly, no contact whatsoever, and it was Sebastian Vettel. In my opinion, I do like Sebastian Vettel, but I think in this one he's actually wrong. I think he sort of caused the incident himself by sort of swerving a little bit into the side of Raikkonen, but it is what it is. Everyone, I'm sure, will have their own opinion on that. But through the first corner, obviously Raikkonen went sideways and lost a load of positions because of that, and Vettel got some damage through that as well. But it all settled down for a little bit. Hamilton was gaining positions from the back of the grid, getting up to the mid-pack once again. Then Daniel Ricciardo's tyre let go whilst he was leading the race, and well, that was a defining moment of the race for me, because Rosberg, he wasn't right up behind him for a few laps, but then he slowly caught him in. But I think that, to be perfectly honest, Ricciardo's pace was really good today, and I think he maybe, I don't know, he would definitely been second place in my opinion here today. Maybe could have even challenged Rosberg a little bit harder today, but that tyre let go, and then more cars behind. There was debris all over the track, so the safety car came out, which meant that Hamilton did about 50 pit stops and changed over loads of different times, and eventually I think he came out on the soft tyres. I mean, he went to pit to the super soft, and then went back down the grid, and then came out on the soft tyres again, and that was tricky for Hamilton, obviously, because it kept him at the back of the grid, and it meant he had to once again fight his way through the field. But I think at the time Mercedes were thinking this would be a great time to just get those stops out of the way, not really realising later on how the race would play out for them. But all of this meant Rosberg went into the lead the race, obviously, and well, he just commanded this race pretty much since the safety car went in. Obviously, he built the gap over which was Daniel Kvyat, who was in second place at the time, and the gap just went going up and up and up. It was incredible. I think it was like nearly 40 seconds towards the end of the race, and that's pretty incredible stuff. But I've got to say, a great comeback drive from Sebastian Vettel, who obviously got damaged in that first corner collision. He fought his way through the field once again. I think he came in and changed his front wing. He also got more damage once again. I can't remember who he was overtaking. It was one of the Williams, I think, maybe. He got a bit of damage through overtaking one of them, and once again he damaged that side of the front wing. A little bit more of that fell off at the final corner, but luckily for Sebastian Vettel, his car was good enough to fight through the field. He eventually got past Daniel Kvyat once again and got himself into second position in the end. So Rosberg, with the commanding race, managed to take another 25 points. That's 6 race wins in a row, which beats Hamilton's record of 5, and obviously 3 on the bounce in 2016, which is incredible for Rosberg to get those points in the bag. Exactly what he needed, and I haven't even looked at the standings yet, but he's so far ahead of Lewis Hamilton. We're only 3 races in. It's going to be over a race win now ahead of Hamilton, which is kind of crazy. And Sebastian Vettel, still complaining about that issue. The first corner comes across the line in second position, and Daniel Kvyat comes home in third position to get Red Bull's first podium of the season. But I've got to say also a massive congratulations to Daniel Ricciardo after that tyre letting go basically back down the back of the field once again. He fought his way through the field and finished 4th place, and he was battling with Hamilton for a lot of the time, but Hamilton really struggled with his tyres at the end. He was stuck behind Felipe Massa for a lot, and he actually lost positions. A few cars came past him towards the end of the race, and he actually eventually, you know, I think he was up to 5th position, but I think he dropped down to 7th place by the end of the race. So Hamilton having a really unlucky race, dropping, climbing right back up the order, then the medium tyres not quite working out at the end, him dropping down to 7th place. No Hasses in the points this weekend, but I think Gutierrez finally got a finish, which was good for him. He had a decent race, he had some good lap times as well. And Verstappen obviously making a good comeback drive as well to get himself in the points, which is good for him as well, beating Carlos Sainz after being way behind after the first stops. But in my opinion, that is one of the better races I've seen over the last few years with the Mercedes dominance. You know, it's not like an incredible race. It's probably not going to stay in the memory for many years, but it was a good race, and I'm happy that I got up early to watch it. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Until next time, it's been Alex about it. Goodbye.